You're being lied to about masculinity and you believe 100% of it. Let me prove it with Billy Bob. Billy Bob is sad, he's a pro-gooner, he's got no bitches, he doesn't really have a life. But then he finds a man by the name of Hamza. Billy Bob watches all of Hamza's videos, and Hamza graces Billy Bob with advice that would change his shitty life. After following that advice, Billy Bob now has a nice physique, has clear mental health, and he's even gonna start his own business. And here's the cherry on top. Billy Bob learned how to become more masculine. And of course he wants to become more masculine because that's how you get a smoking hot girlfriend. That's how you're successful in business. So with this newfound knowledge of how to become more masculine, he goes out with his massive testosterone-filled nuts and he tries to talk to a girl. It's gonna be a piece of cake. He just watched Top 10 Ways to Be More Masculine, and he's even gonna follow his deepened voice guide that Hamza taught him. He walks up to her and, well, he doesn't really say anything. He kind of chokes up. His fear of rejection took over. He couldn't muster up the courage to say anything. How could Top 10 Ways to Be More Masculine fail him like this? And Billy Bob thinks to himself, maybe he's not trying enough, maybe he hasn't built enough muscle, or maybe masculinity isn't what these videos are really preaching, and he's been lied to. The way modern masculinity is presented, especially through online self-improvement, is literally just an ego feeder. A way to make you feel better about yourself, comfort you. The road to masculinity that we're told to take is always shown as some hard path that only the hardest motherfuckers can get through. But in reality, it's just cope. Let's look at Billy Bob again. He went down this road of masculinity because he wanted to talk to girls. He wanted to finally get some poonie, but he still couldn't talk to girls. Instead of solving the problem of talking to girls by being courageous, just going out and socializing and facing that fear, he instead coped by, weightlifting, reading some book, thinking that any of that is actually gonna help him talk to girls. But of course, like many of us, Billy Bob doesn't want to admit that he can't talk to girls. He's too scared. It would damage his ego and make him feel less masculine, discrediting all that work he's put into the gym. Within these masculinity videos, you're given a template of a masculine man. The template to success in every avenue of life. This template fucks you royally. It makes you a subject to this all too common masculine desire. You want to become more masculine to fit this template. But the thing is, you can't become more masculine. It's literally impossible. Masculinity is not something that's acquired through some hard work. You don't become masculine. You are masculine. Our generation has an understandable hyperfixation on masculinity, mostly due to the push of femininity and, monotony in society. It's amazing that so many young guys are focused on improving themselves nowadays. And it's great that people like Hamza are giving them some direction in it. But it's hard not to admit that some of this direction has gone a bit too far. It's a bit ridiculous. It's a bit off the mark. I mean, look at some of these titles. Imagine if girls had full hour-long guides on how to increase estrogen and femininity and fucking whatever. Self-improvement was never meant to be about becoming more masculine. In fact, that kind of defeats the entire point. When you reduce self-improvement down to some one-dimensional goal of, be more masculine, it's not really self-improvement. You're improving to fit the template of what some guy on the internet told you to be because you'll be the most happy, you'll be the most fulfilled. An important lesson I've learned through self-improvement is that once you're just genuinely authentic about it, it just comes naturally. And that includes the whole masculinity part. Sure, when you're more authentic about it, you're not gonna have some big bushy beard or some deepened voice that Hamza told you to assert dominance with. But it comes with something that is so much more important, something that I think is so glazed over in self-improvement, and that's character. It comes with building character. You become a real person with a real personality, not just some NPC copy carbon of the next self-improvement guy. And when you think about it, being able to admit your fears and go out and conquer them, is that not the most masculine shit ever? Also, if you look into the philosophy of masculinity, of what it really is, it's being able to find your purpose in life and, working hard at it, but also not letting people dictate or change what that purpose is. Doing self-improvement with a bit more authenticity will get you so much further. I'm not gonna sit here and try and say, traditional self-improvement habits don't work. Of course they work. Keep meditating, keep lifting, keep reading, keep edging. But there's deeper ways to improve yourself that aren't just some daily habit. So I'll give you some actionable step that you can do to truly improve yourself. So that what ladies will want you finally. I want you to grab a notebook and sit down. I don't care where you sit, to be honest. List out a bunch of things that you fear, whether it be a mental fear or a physical fear. You know, it could be like our boy Billy Bob. You're scared of talking to women. Or it could be you're scared of frogs. I don't care. Today, tomorrow, or next week, set a day, set a time that you're gonna go out and conquer that fear. Or you're gonna try to. You're gonna make a step towards not having that fear anymore. Conquering that fear. Doing stuff like this is how real character is developed. Something they'll never tell you in the fucking top 10 ways to get girl videos is that girls like when someone has character. They like when they're not just a one-dimensional, I lift and I'm trying to start my drop shipping business. They want to hear you say, yeah, I conquered my fear of frogs last week. Back in the day when I was like 15, I did this with socializing because I was not very good socially. I realized that charisma on command and top 10 ways to start a conversation, those videos, they're not helping. They're not doing anything. Watching a video about someone's body language while talking is not going to translate into real conversation. It never will. It takes real action and breaking through a barrier, breaking through something that is uncomfortable to make true progress. That's why this modern road to masculinity is just cope. You get used to going to the gym and reading in your room and taking cold showers. You get used to that pretty fast. I heard this quote once. Actually, I heard it from my graphics teacher in high school. But this shit goes hard. Nothing grows in the comfort zone. You gotta step outside the comfort zone, break through that uncomfortable barrier, and then progress will actually be made. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. You know what to do. If you want to talk to me or others that are like-minded, I have a free Discord community in the description. Also, I was talking about purpose in this video earlier, which I think is a very important thing. If you're having a hard time finding your purpose in life and you want something to pick your brain with a little, I have a free guide to purpose in the description. But on that note, I'll see you in the next one.